Hello, everybody, and welcome to Draw My Life. Yay! Hey, that's a little fun thing people do nowadays, huh? No? Well, I'm gonna do it anyway, because you're gonna have to do it yourself if no one else will do it. Anyways, I was born on the 22nd of April on 2011 in a small town in Wyoming called Laramie. And that was the best state I've ever lived in. And on that day I was born, they described me as a excuse me for the very bad artwork and this voiceover that's currently in my grandfather's closet. And as I'm recording this, it's not 100% good. Anyways, I was described as a big baby, not like a big crybaby. I meant I weighed 13.9 pounds and 2 ounces, basically. And around 2016 was my first introduction to school. 2016, I went to Spring Creek, in which all of the teachers isolated me from all the other students. It was bad. Then 2017 through 2018, no, 2019, I went to Linford Elementary, which was a very good school for me, because the teachers were actually there to help me. And throughout the early 2020s, I was homeschooled during the pandemic, and it was very, very bad. Then, the other 2020s, I went back to Linford. Let me fix that in there. 2021 to 2023. I made it through Linford again. And then I went to middle school, which I defined as the equivalent of hell, along with a bunch of enemies. We'll get to that later. Anyways, it was bad. And then I went to iCare, which is like a little special ed program or something. It was okay. I went there from 2024 to 2025. No. I actually, ignore my head. Ignore my hair. Anyways, through 2025, I went back to LMS, and it was way worse than last time. There were a lot of enemies that I made. Basically, I made no friends. Oh, that's sad. And I had many enemies. But I'll only talk about the two that stuck with me, because the other enemies that I had either forgot about me or stopped becoming enemies. First, there was Remington Johnson. He was basically the stereotypical jockey. He was tall. He was athletic. And he was basically a human douche. And there was also a duo, Kane and Diesel, I don't know who names a kid after truck gas, Curry. They were a human douche combined with cow dung, which is basically, yeah. Also, they were quite racist, a lot, and they also play victim a lot. And they try to make it look like I'm playing victim when in reality I'm not. Basically, also, Remington Johnson was either gone or maybe he disappeared. I do not know what happened to him. But for some reason, Kane and Diesel Curry are still here. They are a pair of twins at the Laramie Middle School. And I never 100% understood them or even knew them until our rivalry began. One of them shoved me in a hallway. I have no idea why. I was quite shocked. I didn't realize what had happened. But apparently, Kane pushed me in the middle of a hallway. I'll write it down over here. Pushed me. And I did not take that kindly, obviously. And then his twin brother, Diesel, also got involved in this. Where, somewhere in the cafeteria, I think, while I was getting some lunch, Kane walked up to me rather fast and almost body slammed me and pointed his finger at me. I fell over. It was a bit painful, but it didn't really hurt me a lot. But I did remember that, and I never took it kindly. And obviously, one of my bodyguards, my temporary bodyguards, Jonathan, reported it to the teachers. And I'll just write it down here. Jumped me. I never respected them since. In fact, I've grown to hate them. And they also make fun of Adun, which is a language constructed by the legendary Biblitorian. He basically calls Adun that. And I obviously hated it. I thought it was bad. I thought it was offensive. I thought it was dark humor. And then every time he walks away, he would always give me that devilish little smile. And I will never forget that smile. And then, basically, ever since, we have both become enemies for life. Or, more dramatically, enemies for life. Okay, I think that was a bad take. I think. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.